You're listening to Parasearch UK Radio. News, views and reviews from the world of the paranormal from across the UK and beyond. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and the World Wide Web. Parasearch UK Radio.
The views and opinions expressed by presenters and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Parasearch UK Radio or its affiliates and sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
You're listening to The Spirit Dimension with your host, Kerry Greenaway, right here on Parasearch Radio.
Good evening and welcome to The Spirit Dimension. Tonight on The Spirit Dimension, it's just myself and the lovely Clare Hinks. Good evening, Clare. How are you?
Good evening, Kerry. It's good to be here. I'm
good. It's very hot, isn't it?
Oh, so hot. And it rained here earlier.
Oh, no. We've had no rain for weeks.
Oh, well, sunny Cornwall, like holiday destination of, you know, it's hot and sunny. But today, when I was coming home, it rained. And rained for about 2 hours. But it's lovely again now. It's like, it's hotter than ever.
Whoa,
I need the fan.
That's good. At least your garden had it all watered and that.
Yeah, the flowers are perky.
Yeah, the flowers have perked up. That's good. But you've been up to so much stuff, which is why you've not been on the show recently, because you've been such a busy girl.
Oh, I have been a busy girl. I needed a minute. I'm on the show to have a rest.
Have a sip of your gin and we'll start talking about what you've been up to.
I'll have a sip of my gin. You're laughing, but I really am.
I know you are. No, I'm on wine, mate. Trust me. It's the only thing to do in this weather, surely.
It's party night.
Yeah, it's Sunday. Woohoo. So what is it you've been up to? Because you have been doing lots of different things lately, haven't you?
I have. Well, where should I start? I mean, the most exciting, the thing that we're really going to talk about tonight is what I've been doing this weekend.
Yes.
So this weekend I have been to Bristol to the Hay House Angel Summit at an amazing building in Bristol called, it's their City Hall in Truro. It's not in Truro, it's in Bristol. What the hell? It's an amazing building, and it's in such a beautiful city setting. Have you ever been to Bristol?
I have, actually.
Do you like it? Did you like it there? Where did you go?
The bus shelter, but that's not the point.
Okay.
There's a big coach. No, there's a big coach centre in Bristol that you change coaches to go to other areas. So I've been to the coach centre place, not a bus shelter, but yeah, that made it sound really sleazy, didn't it? I've been to a bus shelter in Bristol, but no, I've been to the coach.
If you ever get the opportunity, go back there and see more than the bus shelter. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's an amazing city, and to have. I mean, obviously, everybody knows that Hay House are the massive spiritual book, publisher. You know, they have Hay House Radio, and they're probably most well known for Wayne Dyer and Louise Hay. And other amazing authors. And so my friend and I decided that we would go to the summit this year because they hold it there every year. But this is obviously the first time that we've been. And the building that it's in, I was actually there last weekend with my mum. We went for a weekend break, and we drove by this building, this City Hall in the middle of Bristol. and there is a giant golden unicorn on the top of the building. And I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing. That's the place. That's why they've chosen that building, because there's a unicorn on the top of it.
Just because of the unicorn.
Yeah. And unicorns are amazing, aren't they? Do you have any vibes off unicorns? No. No?
No.
No unicorn vibes?
No mermaids. Or fluffy things with glitter and rainbows. I don't kind of do that vibe at all, really.
Oh.
But that's,
oh God,
that's
you're
just
going to be
me.
sick of me.
I know, that's just me. I do apologise. I'm sorry. I'm not
apologise.
a light and fluffy, glittery kind of girl. But loads of people are and resonate very strongly with those kind of energies. So fill your boots.
Well, do you know what? I mean, everybody knows what I do, so I'm a medium. So that's my angle. I'm all about the spiritual and the, you know, delivering messages from your loved ones in spirit and giving you validation, and you know, that's my spiritual angle, if you want. But my journey is offering me so many other things, and part of that was what I got yesterday, and I got so much from it. And one of the people there, one of the speakers there was a lady called Callista, and she's quite new, I think, to Hay House, but she did an amazing talk. And what amazes me about all of these people, so let me just tell you who was there a second. So there was this lady called Callista, it was Radley Valentine, who is all about angels, has angel cards, angel readings, done a lot of work with Doreen Virtue. Everybody knows who Doreen Virtue is, yeah? You know who Doreen Virtue is? Yeah. Phew. So obviously he was there speaking. Kyle Gray. Do you know who Kyle Gray is?
He is. He does, as you say, Hay House Radio. He does a lot of angel work, doesn't he? He does a lot of links in with the angels a lot.
Angel Summit, pretty much. It was pretty angel-y, obviously. So, but Kyle Gray is also a medium, but he's got a big angle on angels, and so he was there speaking. And Diana Cooper. So you know, she's our British angel lady, isn't she?
Yeah.
So she's done so many meditations. So basically, she kicked it all off with we launched into. But I've taken all these notes, and I can't even. Like, I was going through my notes last night thinking, I don't even understand this. Because when you're there, you're trying to soak everything up. And I was like, I just couldn't write it all down because there was such a lot, you know, and you're trying to absorb it all. But Diana Cooper, she took us through several different meditations. She's been talking a lot about the dragons and how the dragons are coming in now. We've talked about dragons before, haven't we?
Yeah, with Cheryl McGregor.
Yeah, and obviously Cheryl talks about the dragon, you know, like the crystals, because I've got a couple of those as well. So I've got a citrine dragon head and a smoky quartz. But I haven't done lots of work with them. But I tell you what, I'm going to start now, because yesterday we did a meditation with Diana, and she led us through connecting with our dragons. So the dragons. Oh my goodness, the dragons are elemental, right? So there's earth dragons and fire dragons and air dragons, and water dragons, and you can draw them in. So it's like calling on the dragons is like calling on your angels. So we all have a guardian dragon, if you like. This is how she put it. And you can have a meditation. You can connect with your dragons. I mean, you go on. You can probably download some of her meditations, I should think, from YouTube. Well, maybe not YouTube, but definitely Hay House and podcasts, that kind of thing. And so she led us in this meditation to connect with your dragons. It was amazing. It was just made me think, God, you know, she said to call on your fire dragons to clear the way for you. So, for example, if you're traveling and you need the road to be clear, you know, call on your fire dragons to send them out in front of you to clear the way, clear the path, and ask for a safe journey so that nothing hinders you on your way. Seriously, I should have used that on Friday. It took me 9. I wish I'd known that before, because I was stuck in traffic for 9 hours on Friday, which did not.
Hindsight is a wonderful thing, everybody.
Yes. So, for those of you getting in the car and travelling any distance, use those dragons. Call
on your fire dragons. They'll clear the way for you.
Yes.
Do you think, can I just ask at this point, do you think that, I mean, you've got one person saying call on your angels, another person saying call on your dragons. Basically, do you not think it's just the form they're taking that for what you've asked for? So it's the same energy, it's just the form it's taking, so you recognise it for what it is?
Wow. Diana Cooper talks about dragons, angels, and unicorns as being 3 separate things. So you're not calling on the same energy, you're calling on different energies. So all of these, I mean...
Is it the energy signature then that defines? So say you want, I don't know, an earth healing energy, right? So you're in your garden and your plants are a bit limp and you've done all the feeding and watering and stuff. And then you call on your angel and you say, can you come and heal my garden?
Well, do you know what, though?
And you focus it into that shape. So you've focused on that energy signature of what your intention is. Yeah, and you've actually given it a form because you've, in your mind,
called on an angel.
Do you think that's why they appear in these forms, or are they actually their forms?
I don't know.
There's a question for you on a Sunday evening.
So I actually feel that they are I feel that they're all different, although they all carry each of those things. So for instance, yes, I do think that you could say and that you could call on the earth. I don't know enough about the angels. I'm learning, right? So you could call on an angel. You call on an angel. I don't know. For example, I'm going to use Archangel Michael, but I don't know if that's the right one. Just in case anyone's taking this as gospel. You could call on him and say, "Oh, Archangel Michael, I need you because you're connected to the earth, and I really want you to help my garden flower." Right? But you could also call on the earth dragon, because you really want help with your garden and you want them to get down in the roots, and you could call on them like that. And it's all about the visualization.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all about making that connection with that energy, isn't it? Yeah. And I have learned so much. I mean, I know that you do a lot through everything we do in connection to all of this stuff is through energy, right? I have learned that tenfold this weekend because we did so many meditations. I lost count, and at one point I just passed out because I was so tired. So I actually just missed I got the first 5 minutes and then passed out.
Just like snoring in the corner.
yeah. So but I totally feel so connected with, like, I need to be calling on my angels. It really woke me up to that, actually, that we all have those angels. We all have those. We just need to make the connection with our unicorns and with our whoever we resonate with. You know, if angels aren't your thing, don't call on the angels. We all have an angel. Radley Valentine in his talk was talking about how we all have an angel. It's like having a guide, a spirit guide. You know, that angel or that guide or that unicorn or that dragon is there going, I'm here. You need to listen. You need to hear me. And unless you choose to make that connection, you're never going to hear them. You know, it's like a one-way phone. You can't hear what they're saying, but they can hear everything you're saying.
Okay.
Kaz has put in the chat room. Hi, Kaz. She's put unicorns are meant to be pure magic, aren't they? Yes. And do you know what, this lady Callista, so her story, she is teaching and doing all of her spiritual work unicorn style. I should tell you at this point, she got up on the stage yesterday and she had coloured hair and she had a unicorn headband stuck to her head. So she literally was looking like she looked like a unicorn. She had all this rainbow hair and the unicorn horn and everything. Her journey was so interesting because she actually started her adult career then in science. So she was in cancer research, and she spent a lot of time being very scientific. So her mind was not what you would maybe say into what they kept saying was into the woo-woo stuff at all. you know, she's very scientific. She's obviously in medicine. And she said she decided, you know, she'd seen a few things that she wasn't very happy with, and it kind of made her feel like she wanted to change her direction. And then but she believed in angels, so she kind of called on her angels. And then she said things just started to change really quickly. And one day she just sat quietly at home and she was like, I need a sign. And she was like, unicorns had come up in conversation, in books, and obviously if you're a little bit spiritual and you're into signs, then you will pick up on signs, right?
I totally agree. No, I do see that, and they will keep coming up. So if I kind of get that bit, do you know what I mean? If there's something that you're supposed to be paying attention to, it will keep coming up, and it's sort of and it's not just in normal places, it'll keep coming up in abnormal places.
Yeah, well, this is what happened to her. She kept getting unicorn signs, and she was like, well, I don't really know. I don't know if I believe in unicorns. So she said she just sat down quietly one day. She was in her flat, and she just thought, and she was still in this job, still in her medicine job, and she's down in her flat, and she just got into a nice, calm place in her mind, and she just asked. She just said, if there are such a thing as unicorns, you know, come to me, show me that you're real, show me that you're here. And she said she had the most amazing experience, and went on to describe the 2 unicorns that came to her in that moment, in that meditational moment. And she said it completely changed her, and she took a leap of faith. She quit her job in medicine, and she went into what she's doing now. She's now written a book called Unicorn Rising, which is obviously published by Hay House. But she was we actually got to speak to all of the speakers. We bought a few books, got them to sign them, had photos, all that stuff. It was really personal. It wasn't rushed. It was very non media, if you know what I mean. It was really, really lovely day. But Callista, she was such a normal, I say normal with, you know, with doodahs, normal.
yeah, I know what you mean. We are all normal. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But she came across as being just so lovely. She was so down to earth. She was just a normal girl. You know, she just got engaged. What I loved about all of them was they completely trust. They completely believe in what they're doing. You know, and for me, that was real, like, because I feel quite held back a lot by myself.
Is that because you question it, though? Is that because you question it? Or do you think these people have got like a blind faith in what they do? That total belief in what they do? I find even now, and I've been doing this a while now, that I will still go through times where I question things.
And I never question what I get from spirit. So when I'm doing readings and things, I never question. I just say.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't mean in that way.
Dish out the info.
But I mean, when you're looking at your personal beliefs.
And where I'm going, yeah. And for ages, I've been feeling like I couldn't go any further, and I'm stuck. Like, what is going on? I just feel completely like you almost lose. I don't know if losing faith is the right way to put it, because I don't think I've lost faith ever. But I feel like I'm stuck. Like, what is going on? I just don't feel like I'm moving forward. I feel like something's holding me back. So this weekend was a good eye-opener for me, and it made me kind of think, well, what are you doing, Claire? Get your backside in gear. Do you know what I mean? It really give me a really good kick up the bum.
In regards to how you work, or your belief behind what you...
The belief in myself.
Okay.
And how I work, and not worrying about it. Not worrying about what people think. Not worrying about where I'm going to get any money from. Not worrying about... Just moving forward. Just do it. Just get on with it. Stop worrying about it and get on with it. But every angle.
I was going to say, but isn't that a life rule?
What, just get on with it?
Yeah. Just do it. Whatever you do, do it. Because if you don't, you're stuck.
Yes. Yes, it is a life rule, I guess. But sometimes it's easier said than done, isn't it? You know, just do it. Well, yeah, but... It's not, your brain doesn't allow you always to do that, does it? Because in reality, it's hard. Yeah?
Oh, it's incredibly difficult.
It was really interesting. Go on.
No, I was going to say it's a really hard concept, because there are some days you can't, right? You get up and life takes over. You have your job, you've got your washing to do, you've got this to do, you've got that to do. You can't just do it. You can't just sit down sometimes and catch your breath and have a meditation or do whatever it is that you can do. And other times it's fine.
Yeah. So it was really interesting yesterday listening to Radley Valentine. So we all know Radley Valentine, angel guru, yeah? So have you listened to him? Have you listened to him at all on anything, radio or
No, to
YouTube?
be fair, I've heard Carl, but I haven't heard...
Of Radley.
Yeah.
So he's American. He's written a couple of books. And he was so interesting to listen to yesterday, because he said, when he started his little talk, he was saying, now the angels have said to me, he said before he gets on stage, like he's preparing himself and he's trying to kind of think, right, what am I going to say? And I could totally relate to that, because that's what I'm like with my spirit guides before I go on the platform, if you like, before I get out there as well. And I'm kind of going, right, what's going to happen? And he was saying the same thing. And he said that his angels were telling him that he had to be really personal with us. Yet there were things that he was saying some of his closest friends don't even know. He said what he was about to share with us, some of his closest friends didn't even know. And he had to keep composing himself, because he was starting to get really emotional, really upset. And long story short, he had a really abusive father and a really amazing mum. And he said he's gay. But he said he somehow managed to out himself when he was really young at school. And he's from Tennessee. So he said people were horrid to him. He had no friends at school. His dad, obviously, he wasn't the son that his dad wanted, because he was gay. You know, he was in America, in Tennessee, and it was very judged. He was very judged for it. And his dad used to beat him across the backside with a piece of wood until he bled. Oh, and then he would sit him in at Epsom salts to try and get the whelks to go down, so that his mother wouldn't know, and then bribe him with ice cream. This is what he was saying. Jesus. And I know it's horrendous, isn't it? And I would never. This guy's standing on stage in a purple sparkly jacket, and his hair's all done, and he's got books to sell and cards to sell. He does amazing angel readings. You just don't expect that, do you, from somebody that's in that position? So he was telling us this story, and he said it was Halloween, and he decided that he was going to go as an angel on Halloween. So his dad was working as a welder at the time, and Radley had made himself some angel wings out of coat hangers, and his dad took the angel wings to work to weld, so that he could cover them in fabric. But he said he put the angel wings on the table, and he said as soon as the welder touched his wings, it set off a spark, which actually resulted in a massive explosion and a huge fire. Oh, Jesus. And his dad actually lost both his legs. And he said his dad lost his legs welding up angel wings for Radley, which kind of made everybody go, wow, that's a bit ironic, isn't it? Because this man was so horrible to him, and then that happened. So is that a sign from the angels? Is that the angels protecting Radley? Is that the angels saying, do you know what, we got your back?
You could read it like that, couldn't you?
I think that's how he read it. But it's given him faith with his angels. He made peace with his dad.
That's actually the basis of his faith, isn't it? Actually,
yeah.
At that point, I mean, he had a hope, I suppose you would say, in regards to having that angel guidance, but
also,
and protection.
Also a lot of guilt, I would think, as well, because because his dad lost both his legs doing something for him, and it was obviously angel wings, but you could read it two ways, can't you? But then he went on to say that the world, this is going back to what we were saying just now, the world throws you rotten tomatoes, right? So a rotten tomato could fall in your path, and it could smash in front of you, and you could go, oh my God, oh no, now I've got to clear that up, and think on the negative side. Oh God, that could have hit me. What are you playing at, universe? Where did that come from? You know, and you get really upset and in a state about it, right? But you could also think, oh, that rotten tomato landed in front of me. I'm not supposed to go that way, and change your direction. So it's how you read the signs that come into your way. It's like, and he said the same about speed humps, right? A speed hump could come up in front of you. If you, what do? If you come along the road and you come up to a speed hump, you drive over it, yeah. But what if you
slow down and drive over it? Hopefully,
yeah, yeah, good. But he was saying, you know, if you get a speed hump in your life, you don't turn around and go the other way, because you can drive over a speed hump, can't you? So you just keep going. You just go over it. So the things that come into our lives, the things that come into our paths, are just speed bumps, you know. And the things that fall in our way, or, you know, like a rotten tomato flying out of the sky and landing in front of you, whoa, is that a sign from the angels to say, hang on a minute, you're going in the wrong direction, go back the other way? Or, you know, like for instance, you start a new job and then it goes from bad to worse. Is that a sign to say, hang on, you're going the wrong way? You should be doing something else. You should be following your gut. You should be doing something else.
I definitely I definitely see that, because whenever I've come up against an obstacle, you'll have to excuse me, everybody, I've got really bad hay fever. So please excuse it if you can hear me snotting and stuffing.
No.
I know, that's very sexy.
Sexy huff.
Where was I? Anyway, what was I saying? Whenever in my life, if you look at your own life, yeah, so you take that concept and you look at your own perspective, you go, okay, so when I look back, yeah, there has been definite times where I've gone in a direction and there has literally been a massive stop on it, yeah? And I've had to sit back and go, oh, God, what am I going to do now? Because that's not what I kind of saw coming, as it were, for all my skills. I didn't see that one coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's going to put me off I've got to find a different direction. So you go off into a different direction. It might take you a little detour to, you know, find the right direction, but it has veered me away from completely the wrong direction. And
so you have listened to the signs then?
I wouldn't say I've listened. I would say more, it's been forced. It's been a
direction.
The
directional change has been out of your control.
Exactly, and I would say that's happened every time.
And I do think there's a reason. I do think there's a reason. I mean, yeah, I do. There was a lady there yesterday. So Radley did some little random readings. So he had his cards up there on the stage with him, and people were getting up and asking their questions. This has happened to me in my life. What's going to happen now? And this lady got up and she said she had a massive row with her husband that morning, and she had this row in front of her children, and she felt like, you know, that it was coming to an end. Her relationship was coming to an end, and she was basically asking Radley, you know, is it coming to an end? So he pulled 3 cards out for her, and it was just about choice. He said, I'm not going to lie to you, you know, this looks like, well, yeah, it does look like it's coming to an end. On the other hand, I can't remember what the cards were. I wish I could, and I'd have told him to you. But he basically said it's about your choice. So it's about making the choice that's right for you. So you have the choice at this point. You know, you can choose whether it comes to an end, or you can choose to stick with it. So nobody can make that decision for you. And so these things are in our life. Was that just a speed bump in her road, you know? Or
it's a difficult one, isn't it? Yeah, it is a difficult one, because I have to say, if I've been in the wrong direction, there's been a definite stop sign. There is no going down that avenue, no matter how much you want it. It isn't going to work. It's not going to happen, right? Yeah. So you go, okay, so you change direction and you go off into a different way. If it's something that's supposed to slow you down so you reassess things more, then I would say there would be the speed bump thing. Things won't it won't be very easy.
So for me, I call on my this morning, like after yesterday, I'm calling on them all. I'm calling on my guides,
I'm going to say,
my
I'm
unicorns, my dragons, my angels, all of you. I want you all. Get your backsides in here and give me a hand.
Yeah, why not?
You know? God, I felt so empowered when I got out of the shower this morning. But I do think, like, for me, I sit every day and I kind of go, right, I make my little connection with the universe. You've heard me say this before, you know, this is my thing, this is what I do. And I have to say, I have my belief, you know, I believe in all of these things, and I'm proud to say I believe in unicorns, dragons and everything. And after yesterday, I will be learning more about it, because it really opened my eyes. And the reason you go to these things is to learn more, isn't it? That's what draws us there.
Oh God,
you know. And the fact that it was so easy for me to get there was just like, well, it was no question. And it was one of those things that came into my path and it was easy to do, so I did it. You know, other times it's never been that easy, so it was meant to be. That's the way I think about stuff. And this morning I called on all of what I learnt yesterday, down to, we did a little meditation with Kyle Gray, where he said, you know, put your hand on your heart and tell yourself, actually, I feel love, I have love, and you send out love to everybody that you want to, need to the world. He said they were laughing because he said send out some love to politicians because they really need some. So we're sending the houses of Parliament some love. And when I'd finished that this morning, I did this little thing, and I felt so much better, because I'm not going to lie, over the last week or so, I was feeling a bit stuck, and I was saying to you before the show, I feel like I haven't been able to move forward myself. I've been feeling a little bit like, I don't know if negative is the right word, but somehow or other, my really good vibe, my really good, I'm going to manifest everything I want vibe and get into this amazing groove and make my life amazing, where I was, somehow I kind of felt like I fell out of it. And I was really struggling to get back in. And then shit started happening, right? Not yesterday. So what happened at the beginning of the week? Stuff kept happening. It didn't feel good. You know, just stuff didn't feel good. And then on Wednesday, I fell off a pavement and twisted my ankle. So I spent all weekend on crutches. And I was like, Thursday I spent all day crying because I felt so miserable that I was on crutches. And I was having an emotional breakdown. But actually, what happened was that incident caused me to have that emotional breakdown. And I kind of got loads of emotion out because I cried so much. You know, we bottle things, don't we? We keep it all in. And then when we have a good cry, and then I feel better again. But I wasn't feeling that much better. I was feeling a bit still on Friday.
I do think it's really important to release. I think that's an incredibly important thing, to be able to release that emotion.
Definitely. Because if you keep it inside, you know, we keep it in it affects us. It affects our solar plexus. It affects, doesn't it, our whole system.
Our whole well-being, yeah.
Do you know, we did a bit of an energy healing thing yesterday. We had to do it with the person that was sitting beside us. And this lady was sitting beside me. And it was basically, we were receiving energy from the dragon. So this was with Diana Cooper. Kaz, a good cry and a bubble bath does work wonders.
And a bottle of wine, I find.
And a gin.
And maybe wine some chocolate afterwards. Yeah, why not? Let's have it all.
So we were doing this energy healing. So we were, we had to stand with our hands, we had to close our eyes, we had our hands up in the air, and we were supposed to be calling on the angels, the fire dragon, to receive their energy. And then we basically went to each area, like each chakra area throughout the body of our person, of our partner, and we just, you know, injected that energy into them. And I got stuck with this woman because I got to her solar plexus and I was like, whoa, it was green. I was like, why is it green? And I felt like it was stuck, and I felt like I got this knot in my own tummy, and I just felt like she had so much emotion going on in there. It was like she just couldn't move forward. Like she was literally stood still, like she was stuck in life. You know, she couldn't move forward, she couldn't move back. She had so much emotion in there, she couldn't let it out. She was, in some trouble, really.
Yeah.
When we got to the end, I opened my eyes and she was crying. And I said to her, "Oh my goodness, are you okay?" And she said, "Yeah." And so I said, "How do you feel?" And she said, "I feel really hot." And I said, "Well, that's good, because I felt really hot. I got really hot as well when we were doing it." And I explained what I'd felt when I got to her solar plexus and her tummy. And she said, "That's exactly right. My husband just died."
Oh, gosh.
And I said, "Oh, my God." And she said, "It's exactly right." And I said to her, I just literally feel like you've got so much emotion in there. You just can't let it out. And she said, I really can't. She said, and I got the impression that it was really new. And I didn't tell her this, but I kept getting a 3. And I just felt like he'd been gone either like 3 days or 3 weeks. And it was really new. It was really fresh. And she'd spent 12 months, she told me, she'd spent 12 months caring for him. And so he'd now died. And so all that emotion that she just had it stuck in there. And when I saw her we spoke later on in the day, and I said to her then, "Gosh, I feel relieved for you now. I feel like you're able to move forward." And she was smiling, and she said, I feel completely different now than I did at the beginning of the day. And she said it's big, because of all the meditations and the listening to the people talk.
Yeah.
It just helped her so much. It was so good. It was just, I just feel like I just want to do everything they were doing. Because I've been feeling really drawn to coaching and really drawn to law of attraction and manifesting and having the perfect life, because I do really believe that you're in control of that and that you can have the perfect life, but we just have to tune into that. We just have to find that. Gabby Bernstein calls it your ing, it's like your gut instinct or your inner guide. When you listen to that inner guide and you tune into it, you can get exactly what you want. You can totally believe it. And I even found, I read Gabby Bernstein's "The Universe Has Your Back" a few months ago. It's all exactly what that's all about, what I was just saying. So tuning into your inner you and telling the universe, "Right, universe, this is what I want," and getting it. And I actually did write. I wrote wrote a little letter to the universe after I read that book, and I think I'm going to tell you the date because I have it here somewhere. So on the 4th of April this year, I sat down and wrote a little letter to the universe saying that I needed a job that allowed me to be a medium more. Because the job that I had at that point didn't allow me to do that. So I wanted a job that fitted in with me, allowed me to be more me, completely me, in fact. So that was on the 4th of April this year. I wrote down, I make a conscious decision. I'm telling the universe, this is my conscious decision, that I need a job. I make a conscious choice to address my guides on a daily basis and to ask the universe for the job that allows me to be more me, that allows me to be a medium, be Clare Hinks medium all of the time, not just some of the time. And at the end of May, I started the job that allows me to do that. And I didn't actually realise until last night when I read that in my little book, because I took my little book with me, and you write stuff down, don't you? And then you forget that you've written it. And I read that, and I was like, I had a bit of a wow moment, because I was like, I actually made that happen, because I wrote it down, I set the intention, and then I didn't really think anything more of it. I said it daily, but I didn't obsess about it. I just said it and then got on with what I was doing. And by the end of May, I'm still doing the job that allows me to be exactly what I need to be, and that job is allowing me to it's allowing me to meet new people that I need to be with. It's sending me on a slightly different path, and it's done amazing things for me already. So it just is possible. So that's my journey. But doing what I did over the weekend has just kind of confirmed and reaffirmed all of that. It just makes me want to go, come on, people, come on, what are you doing? Sort your lives out.
So it's taking it out of the hands of fate I mean, there's that school of thought as well, isn't there, of what will be, everything happens for a reason. You know, that school of thought.
So everywhere, as a medium, my spiritual path is taking me along these other avenues. And you've heard of Jerry and Esther Hicks and the Abraham teachings?
Yeah, Abraham teachings I've heard of.
Yeah, so she channels Abraham, who is a guide and who talks about the law of attraction and the energy of our energies and how we can attract, and it just helps you understand. Maybe we could put the link on perhaps in the chat room actually for Esther and Jerry Hicks. There's loads of stuff on YouTube. You can watch her, you can listen to her on podcasts, etc. And it just puts things into perspective, you know. And I just so believe that we are in control of we're in control of our lives. You know, if you don't like what you're getting, change it. You don't have to change your whole life, but you can change it. You can change your thought process and it will change your life. It will. And I'm still doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it, and I will keep you posted.
I've shared abrahamhicks.com into the chat room, which is basically where this comes from, and deals with the law of attraction, which is really what we're talking about. And this is actually a theme. Hi, Bear. Kaz, Penny is in the chat room. I'm just going through a few people. Gary is in the chat room. There's quite a few in the chat room tonight.
Yeah.
Good evening. As I say, I do apologise. I'm very hay fevery. What was I saying? Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this quite a few times on the Spirit Dimension with Heather Prince and with Lisa Michaels as well, who are actually coming on next week as well, talking about the law of attraction and raising your vibration into the vibrational form so you attract what it is you want. And a lot of motivational speakers
so
work
such
in this way.
As Gabby Bernstein, Rebecca Campbell, there's loads out there we can talk about. And the more I go on, I mean, Wayne Dyer, he's all about the law of attraction as well. And the more you look into it, the more interesting it gets, and the more I think, it is exactly about just making it's what's in your mind, making that into a reality. You know, we are capable of anything. Energy is amazing. You know, I speak to the dead. You know, I pass on messages, and that's all done by energy. You know, and that's validation. To crystals, and that's exactly energy. Done by energy.
You know what I mean? And you know, no matter what anybody thinks of that, you know, like you're a complete nutcase. You talk to rocks. You know what I mean?
Not at all. No, not at all.
No, it's not. It's just how that vibrational energy is coming through to you, and you need to learn to channel that and resonate your own personal energy signature into that vibration. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, everybody. You can tell I'm not right because of me snot faster going on.
Yeah.
I do apologise. You can hear it in my voice and everything, Claire. It's like not like me at all.
It really isn't. Well, we need to sort you out. Perhaps we need to give you some homework, Kerry.
Oh, God, don't give me homework. I have enough from Ashley on that one. That I haven't done any on, and he's like going, are you actually going to do any work soon? No, I'm joking. But this law of attraction isn't about going, dear universe, I'd like lots of money, a rich boyfriend, a lovely sports car, 5 dogs, and a cook. Right?
Well, yeah.
Okay. It's not about that. It's about going, right, okay. So I would like you said, something that's fitting within your resonance. If I had all those things, I wouldn't know what to do with them, quite frankly. A, I can't drive. B, 5 dogs. Really? I've got to walk them? No, thank you.
So let me tell you, when I started on this whole law of attraction,
you've got to be realistic with your law of attraction, with what fits with your own vibration, I have to say.
Yes, but let me tell you something really funny. So there's a lady called Sarah Prout. So she was the first one for me. The first, I don't know, guru. You know, she's the first first person that I found then that was all about the law of attraction and manifesting your life and all the rest of it. And she's got a group on Facebook which I join, a community. Mm-hmm. And she puts, every so often she'll put a game on there. And so this particular time she put, okay, so let's play a game. Let's see if we can attract a flamingo, right? So she said, basically, you tell the universe the day before. She said, like today, before you go to bed tonight, tell the universe, thank you for my pink flamingo. Thank you for my pink flamingo. I'm surrendering this to you. I really want a pink flamingo. Thank you. Thank you for sending me the pink flamingo. And then you let it go. Go to bed. Go to sleep. Forget about it. Next time you think about it, if you still haven't received a pink flamingo, say it again. So this is what I did, right? And I thought, this is a great game. I love pink flamingos. It's a bit of a laugh, you know. Well, I didn't actually love pink flamingos at the time. I just thought, you know, they're pleasant. They're fun, aren't they?
I'm laughing. I've actually got my bathroom has pink flamingos in it.
I'm the same with them.
Anyway,
this
carry
is
on.
resonating with you, isn't it? Because you've got pink flamingos in your life.
Only because my bathroom's got pink flamingos in it.
Yeah, but so why did I pick pink flamingos? Anyway, let's just
off on a tangent.
So I thought, oh, right then. So I did this. I did this pink flamingo. I did it one day, and the next day I still hadn't got one, and I was like, okay. So I did it again. Got up the next morning, kids getting ready for school, and I sat down on the sofa, and we'd had the Lidl's leaflet through the door. So I thought I'll have a little flick through that while I drink my cup of tea. Sat down on the sofa, was flicking through, turned the page, bang. What was on the middle page? A giant inflatable pink flamingo. And I was like, oh my God. I asked for a pink flamingo and one turned up. Well, I'd gone for weeks and not even noticed a pink flamingo anywhere. So why did I notice a pink flamingo after I'd asked for one?
Is it not, though, just because you've set that thought in your head that you then notice it? So it's like a subconscious psychological cue.
Is it? Exactly.
Is it?
So
is
what
it
happens?
just
It's like
that?
when you buy a car, isn't it? And then you see the same car everywhere because it's in your consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So you go,
you fall pregnant,
I want
and then everybody
job.
around you's pregnant because
or
it's the
you
one
can't
thing
fall
that you
pregnant
notice.
and everybody around you is pregnant. That's the worst bit, is when you really want that and you're putting that out and
yes.
Do you know what I mean? And then you're looking around and everybody is pregnant.
But I think that that you hit the nail on the head then, because you said exactly that. You know, you put it on, put it out there to the universe, set the intention, and then it's in your conscious. You are making a conscious decision, aren't you? Right, I'm making a conscious decision that I want to go on holiday this year.
But you have to be specific. I have to say, when you are setting your intention out there of what you want, you have to be specific. Oh, I'm so sorry, my voice is going and everything. You have to be really specific, because the universe, and we've said this before as well, it's an incredibly fickle thing. And if you're not specific, it can come at you in the least expected way, in a way that wasn't, and you go, well, thanks, you're giving me what I want, but it's not actually quite what I wanted. So I need to tweak that a little bit. So universe, thanks so much. Really appreciate that you gave me what I wanted. However, that didn't quite work out how we thought. And I know that that's probably why you weren't giving it to me in the first place. So I take that on board. I've learned that lesson. And now I'm going to really think about what it is I want and be specific. And a lot of people make that mistake. You have to be very specific about what you want. So, and actually, this is the hardest thing. If you turn around to somebody and say, what do you want?
Yeah.
Forget about everybody else. Forget about what your kids need. Forget about... Oh, no, sorry, Bear. I'm so sorry. She's going, who's smoking in the chat room?
Yeah.
I've got hay fever. I'm sticking with the hay fever. Right.
It's not me, Bear. I'm drinking gin.
If you can taste gin, that's Claire. So, you know, what is
Weirdly,
it you actually want? Right? What is it you want? And you have to take out what your kids need from you, or take out what you're doing for somebody else, and take out all of the other factors and look at self. And actually, this is a concept I've been looking at today, which is rather strange. And actually go, okay, me, myself and I, which we're trained from a really young age to not focus on. You're focused on everybody else. You focus on yourself. And you go, okay, so what is it I want? And when you sit there and you look at that concept, it's really hard to do, actually. That's actually really quite a hard thing to
do. Yes, it is. It is hard. You have to break yourself down, you know, like, but on the other hand, have fun. You know, one of Sarah Prout's things is, you know, to ask the universe, have fun with it. If you want a mansion, tell the universe, I want a mansion. Why can't you have a mansion? You might live in a flat, you might have no money. But that's not to say that in 5 years' time you can change your life, you know? You can change your life. You just have to change your mindset a little bit, that's all.
I think mindset is a huge part of it. I think mindset definitely is actually a huge, huge part of it. And but again, you have to know what you want to be able to change your mindset into that focus and stay focused as well. That's another hard thing that people don't understand. These are simple things, but they're really hard to implement on a day-to-day and keep that self-belief and that self-faith, particularly when you have things that come along and knock you off, as it were. So, like we've said, we've said you'll get those blocks or those speed humps come in. So if you've put that much time and energy and investment into something and then you get a stop sign, that's really hard to then come to terms with. And again, I do think it's about perception, because they will give it to you in a way of how you perceive it. I mean, precisely, right? Bear has just said, my home is my mansion. She doesn't live in a 20-bedroomed mansion but what she's got fits her perfectly for who
I
she
just like
is
to add something
and what
to that,
she
actually.
does.
Let me add something to that. So where I live, I get frustrated with where I live because my kids are getting bigger and our house is feeling smaller. So I've been asking the universe for help with moving, right? So I've been asking, and I'm like, nothing's happening, but I just keep putting it out there, and I keep thinking, well, it'll happen when it's meant to, because that's how it works, you know. And I keep on thinking, keep on saying it, but actually, since I've been saying it, I have felt so content in my home. It's ridiculous. I've felt more content than I felt for a long time. So, because I know that my new home will come when it's meant to. Because I've been saying it every day, and I'm kind of telling myself it, aren't I? Without it, you know?
That reassurance that you will get there. You know, okay, so it's not today, it may not be tomorrow, it might not be in 6 months' time. And there may be blocks along the way. So you may find or what you feel is the perfect house, and a block stop will come on. That doesn't change your goal or your focus, but you just have to find a different way to achieve it, or it will manifest in a slightly different way, but maybe a better way than you thought. Just because that avenue stopped doesn't mean it's going to stop that whole journey.
Exactly.
You might just have to approach it from a different angle that is the right way for you, and it's finding your ing. That woman, it's your ing, not Joe Blogg's ing, or what was right for your sister, or what was right for your auntie or your best friend. It's finding your way forward.
Yes, exactly. Your ing, your inner voice. What makes you tick? What makes you want to move forward? What do you want? You know, it doesn't. It can be whatever you want. You know, write down whatever you want. This is really funny. Well, I'll just tell you this quickly because we're coming to the end of the show. But so I've been doing all this stuff on myself for ages. So I'm like, right, come on, I'm not gonna lie. I want financial abundance, don't we all?
Oh God, yeah.
Exactly.
That sounded a bit too desperate there, didn't it?
Love, joy, abundance, financial abundance, a lovely home. You know, I just want to be able to take my kids on a holiday a couple times a year. I don't want loads. I'm easily pleased. Do you know what I mean? Yesterday, Radley Valentine, during his signing, was so he had a little selection of cards, When you went up to him and got your sign in, he told you to pick a card, and then he read the card for you and signed the card and gave it to you, which I thought was lovely. So the card I chose was from the Angel Tarot, and it's the 9 of Abundance. And it says, life is wonderful. Your hard work and dedication to your dreams will provide you with great peace and contentment. Take time to enjoy quiet moments of reflection and leisure. Feel free to buy yourself small luxurious gifts. You've earned the financial security and independence you now enjoy. And he said to me, I love this card. He said, this means that you're about to receive every bit of abundance that you've been asking for. He said you're going to get material abundance, financial abundance, like love abundance. He said you're getting it all. He said in a minute you'll be able to sit back and relax. And I was like, whoa.
Thank the Lord for that.
But I just thought that was so apt. I read people's cards, and because when you're reading for somebody, you're dishing them the information, and people sit in front of me and go, wow, that's awesome. I can totally relate to that. Or, yes, oh my God, that's spot on. Or sometimes it's not, but, we're not all perfect. But when somebody like Radley Valentine gives that to you and tells you that, you think, bloody hell, I must be doing something right then. You know what I mean? So
yeah, but I think even in religion, they say, ask and you shall receive. Okay, the focus is on a Lord or a God, but what are you doing?
Who?
You.
Why?
Your mic is humping.
Oh, I'm fanning myself.
Yeah, don't fan yourself, love. It sounds wrong. I know it's hot, but but even religion.
Sorry, people.
You have to. Although your focus and your intention is in regards to a faith of a specific genre, whether that be a Catholic or a Muslim or whatever, your focus is on an idol. Yeah, like a god or a god.
Yeah, or a Buddha or something.
Yeah. It's ask and you shall receive.
Yeah. But, I think you're in charge. You just need to tell the universe.
But you have to know what you want to ask for it.
Well, what do you want? Like, pick a thing that you want. Happiness?
But happiness comes from within.
I want happiness. I want joy.
But that comes from within, because that's to do with perception of your circumstance.
Yeah. But if you're not telling yourself that every day, you won't be feeling it every day. I've been there, and I started doing it, and it made a massive difference to me. So I do think that you're in charge of your feelings. You are.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. You've got to be completely in control of your feelings. Hashtag so ironic.
No, but what I mean, I'm not doing this very well. You're in charge of your feelings, but you can do things to make yourself feel better. Actively saying every day, like the pink flamingo thing.
Right, Penny has just said in the chat room, surely it's hard to ask for happiness or joy as it's hard to measure. Yes, it is, Penny, but that's why those kinds of things actually come from within rather than from without. Rather than asking the universe for happiness, the universe is going to go, well, hold on, what do you mean by that? You have to be very specific what you ask for. How do you want your happiness? You know what I mean? Because some of the areas that you're not happy with in your life might actually just be a blip in the road at that particular point in time. You are generally quite happy with them, but then the universe goes, oh, okay, well, at the moment, I know that you're not feeling very happy with, I don't know, hubby or your house or whatever. So I'll take those away, possibly. I don't know. I mean, it's very, very difficult. You have to look within for those kind of emotional frequency changes, know what you want, and then set that intention to the universe. But something like happiness is something that you need to do from an inner basis, because for all the crap that you have in your life, and believe you me, some people go through so much crap, there will be something that they can be content with and happy with. Even if it's a small thing. Like I was having a conversation the other day actually with somebody, and we were talking, funnily enough, we was actually talking about magic, which is a slightly different version of what basically the same thing what we're talking about. And it's everywhere if you choose to look for it.
I love that. I love that that's perfect. That's perfect to end on, because that's exactly what Radley was saying yesterday. And Callista, they were talking about the magic. You know, unicorn. We said earlier at the beginning, unicorns are magic. Everybody's got a little bit of sparkle. Everybody loves magic. You know,
yeah.
Everybody believes in a little bit of magic. Remember when you were a kid and you know you how did the man do that card trick, or how did my granddad bring out that penny from behind my ear? You know,
even nature can show you magic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I was walking the lake the other day, just quickly, because I know we're actually at the end of the show. I was walking the lake the other day, and I chose to go a different route to the one I would normally take. And there was this duckling, and it was all by itself, which is quite rare.
Yeah.
And it was crying out, and it was like, where's my mum? And obviously, I like to believe they have conversations.
Obviously.
And I could hear this other cry from across the lake, and as I'm sitting there, and I chose to stop and just I was in a hurry as well. I really was in a hurry to get to the school for the children, but I actually stopped in my tracks because I was actually concerned about this little duckling, and actually just the coming together of the mother and the duckling and the interaction between the two. That in itself was quite a magical thing to see. And magic doesn't have to be great big puffs of smoke and great big manifestations. It can come in the smallest of things and remind you of what's important. And as soon as I saw that, I then hightailed it to the school and did my own duckling mother reunion with my son, because he'd been away for a week. And at that moment, he'd come back from his residential and he was, well, what can I say? Dirty, stinky, filthy, loads of washing. You know what I mean? But his little face, his little face, that was a magical moment. Just that. And that's those moments, no matter on your darkest day, those are the moments you need to look for. And that's where your happiness comes from. Anyway, on that note, everybody, I've got to finish the show. If you miss any of our shows, please pop over to YouTube channel Parasearch Radio. Please click, share, like and subscribe. Now, next week on the Spirit Dimension, as I mentioned earlier in the show, we have the lovely Lisa Michaels and Heather Prince coming in. Their Hunch Club has now been launched and has opened its doors. So we are bringing them back in the studio to talk to those about that. I will be going live on the Parasearch Radio group page tomorrow. Hopefully, in a lot more controlled way with my snot fest than it is tonight, to give you a rundown of all the shows coming up on Parasearch Radio. And on that note, we bid you a very farewell. Thank you so much, Claire, for joining us.
That's all right. Thanks for having me. Speak to you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join us for more shows throughout the week. Find us on Facebook, Twitter, and the World Wide Web to keep up to date with all the shows right here on Parasearch Radio.